has Crow. It's kind of out in the big, because, at gate 2, there's that big open area, and there's kind of a lot of space there. And it's basically dead space.
Yeah.
So why not have somebody have a statue up there? I don't know.
And remember, they're building a bunch of stuff on that side, too, so it'll be more visible as the construction finishes.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Like, if you're going to want to go see it, you're going to want it. You're not going to stumble on it. You're going to, if you want to go see it, you're going to go see it, I'm not where it goes. I'm not as worried about. Now, if they were going to put it like on the other side of Victory Hall, then I would be a little bit pissed off. But
yeah.
All right, I'm going to
cancel.
No. I've got so the YouTube is live, and I'm sharing it. People could watch this if they wanted to. I gotta figure out how to get it to you guys though.
Austin from UNT can tell us how bad we're doing.
Color correction's not that good tonight.
Yeah.
That's, in his defense, that is Christopher Walker. Are we live right now?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, give me somebody's email, or here, let me...
not on this public YouTube page.
No, I got it.
I got jokes.
I got too many things open here.
I bet.
All right, I just sent it to myself, and then I'm going to copy it and send it to you guys. I mean, this is riveting live YouTube stuff right here.
Riveting.
I'm going to have to go back and edit this.
Riveting.
I forgot we had a uniform tonight. Jordan, we should have had black V-necks on.
Mine's green, actually.
Let's all have matching T-shirts.
All right.
So you sent it via email?
Nah, he didn't say anything.
Yeah, I sent it to your address that's... No, I'm just kidding.
I just posted your address online. That's cool, right?
No, you got to put his picture on there, too.
So when you do pull up the page, you got to mute it on there.
Okay.
Did you just send us something?
Yeah.
Yeah, he texted it.
I texted it. You can pull it up on your phone. So this actually has a chat room next to the live video.
Oh, I hear you talking on it right now.
Okay, well, mute it so you won't. It's not muted.
I know. Hold on, man. How do you mute this?
No, just roll your mouse over the YouTube video in the bottom left. Push the little mute signal.
Oh my God!
Okay.
There's so much going on right now.
Yeah, dude.
My God!
I got even more over here.
Done. It's weird. So when I leave the Skype and I see a little icon, on the top right, like the little minimized window, when I leave, I can see Evan. When I go back to the actual app, I don't see Evan. That's so weird. Anyway.
That is weird.
Oh, there's a green dot by your name on the 4 in the call. I wonder why that is.
YouTube seems to be working. It says live chat.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to just go ahead and roll with this.
Yeah.
Is anybody watching right now?
We've got three people, and they're all in this room. Did you send it to Jordan so he can see it? I just sent it to you guys.
So
you're the only one.
I guess my question is, why did you guys want to do a video like YouTube Live?
Well, because this is how we can do a live broadcast that's streaming, and people can we have a chat room there.
Oh, the chat room. Got it.
Yeah.
So we got everything. It's on here. People can listen, watch, do whatever they want to on here. Oh, I was just watching the YouTube replay, and I was like, Ashton's talking, but I can't hear him. But I figured.
Yeah, it's real weird.
Hey, Jordan, I just sent you that link. Okay. To your phone.
Just so you guys see how it works, then you don't want to listen to it, but you can see how it works. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get this thing going. Let's just get a regular podcast in because there's still a lot of moving pieces here we gotta figure out.
Okay. Jordan, hit that link and it'll take you to the YouTube page. But just turn it down because it's pretty loud.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna play the intro. You guys ready?
Yeah.
That was horrible. I guess I need to start over.
Let's do it on 3. 1, 2. 1 half a step too late or too early, you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, quite catch it. On this team, we fight for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know that's the difference between winning and losing.
Mean in the green. It's right here for you.
That's football, guys.
Go Mean Green.
Welcome to the GoMeanGreen.com Barbershop Podcast, dedicated to students, alumni, and fans that truly bleed green.
Don't give them room to breathe.
Follow us on Twitter at GoMeanGreen and visit our website, GoMeanGreen.com.
Gotta love it, baby.
Now, your hosts of the GoMeanGreen.com Barbershop Podcast, Evan, Harry, and Ashton.
The way to hit it. Let's go.
Nice picture, Jordan.
All right, I still got to work out a few things as far as the sound goes because all I was doing was holding the mic to the speakers. This is horrible, but the software to go live on YouTube does not have that on there. So welcome to the 193rd edition of the GoMeanGreen.com Barbershop Podcast. This is Evan.
This is Harry.
This is Ashton.
This is JD.
All right, JD, you're still coming in a little quiet. Obviously, the regular intro does not have JD on there, but we're glad he's in here. This is the first podcast of the 2018 season, and obviously we are 3 days away from kickoff against a really one heck of a kickoff game against SMU.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you guys. We hadn't talked much, but this game has got me very nervous. It just so much at stake. SMU's crosstown rivals. They've had our number the past few years. You know, what a huge start to the season it would be to win this game. And I think we got a good shot. But, you know, SMU's going to be tough. And you just kind of have the feeling like this is, you know, such a critical game because, you know, we could start off the season 1-0. Or we can start off the season with a loss. So I'm just, you know, keeping my fingers crossed we bring our A game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not nervous because I don't want to start the season on a negative note. But, I mean, I guess anytime you open a game that has this much implications, even if you win or lose, it kind of sets the tone for your season. You know, we could win 9 games this year, and if we lost to SMU, there's going to be a little bit of a weird, sour feeling because we're going to be like, damn, I wish we won 9 freaking games. We couldn't beat SMU. You know, why is that? You know, and I think that definitely is a reality, you know, that most fans, I mean, I think you could look at last year, you know, even before we got to the bowl game and didn't win that game. But I think if you would have looked back at the season, you could have said, you know, we had a great season. We won our division. We played for conference championship. There's 2 games that we would have really liked to have had back. One of which was SMU and obviously FAU the first go around. So, yeah, I'm not nervous. I'm anxious, really, because I want to see what we got. But I'm optimistic.
Does it make you nervous that we're favored in this game?
Oh yeah. No, I mean, I didn't. You know, I didn't even know we were favored, to be honest with you, until you just told me that. I kind of assumed we would be favored, just because of what they're going through right now. And what we are returning from last year, that little tidbit that George threw on the ticket this morning, that little tidbit of information is, the starter with the most passing yards in America that's coming back, for another season this year that wasn't playing last year is Mason Fine. So, I mean, in terms of quarterbacks, he's the top one across the nation in terms of what he did last year and is coming back this year. Mason's his arrows going up to me. So, I'm really anxious for Saturday to see what Mason's got, because I think that he's had a great camp and everybody's been raving about him, and that was not the case last year. And he went on to have a pretty great year. And we were skeptical. We were talking about Quinn Shamborn him in a quarterback race this time last year. So I think that I'm really anxious to see what Mason and the offense can do.
Well, there's been a lot of JD. You got something to add to that?
I mean, I was just gonna say it's first game of the year. I don't know how the players feel, but I'm always nervous first game of the year. I mean, even Lamar last year, I had jitters going in the first game, but I feel like there's going to be one of the biggest crowds Apogee's ever seen, because there's been more media hype. I mean, I've had people that I know graduated from North Texas that has just completely went away from the program that's technically this week and said, I got tickets, I'm going, I'm pumped. So, I think it's a big game. The Metroplex is going to be watching, and you don't want them to go out there and fall on their, flat on their face. So, it's like I said, I'm nervous first game of the year, but I think we got a good shot.
Well, Harry, we went down to SMU last year, and everybody knows what happened there. And we know what we have returning. Obviously, we lost some good players, but Fine is the one that we're really kind of hanging our hat on here. And there's been a lot of preseason hype about him. He's looking good. But what about SMU? How are they looking after last year?
I posted on the board, this is sort of the mercenary SMU squad. And I say that because they've got like 9 or 10 graduate transfers. So you understand, if a guy gets his degree within a certain period of time, he can transfer to another school without having to sit out a year. And there's some guys, a Texas A&M linebacker that's in the starting lineup. You know what I mean? There's a big receiver, a guy from West Virginia. So you start looking at it, and you get the feeling Sonny Dykes sort of said, you know what, I'm not really sure about what I got coming back, so I'm just going to throw as much against the wall as I can. And that makes me nervous, because we don't really know exactly, are those guys going to have a big impact? Are they still figuring it out? So it's kind of a moving target, I would say, in terms of what SMU is going to look like this season. They bring their quarterback back. He's a good player, Ben Hicks. They've got some good running backs. They lost that receiver that was just a killer, to the NFL. They actually lost a couple of guys, defensive end, Lawler to the NFL. So they lost some talent, but I think it's a big question mark as far as what SMU team is going to come out to Apogee on Saturday night.
Well, it's a hot game, first game of the season. There's a lot of question marks. The way that the season starts out against SMU, we might think, well, that's a tough game. Maybe it would have been better if we played Incarnate Word our first game. But look over at Florida Atlantic. Florida Atlantic, right out of the gate, plays Oklahoma. And Oklahoma's 20-point favorites. So, yeah, we've got a tester game right off, but one of the biggest conference rivals we have is got an even larger test the first week.
I'm nitpicking here. Playing SMU every season is like the dream for a North Texas fan. So don't get me wrong. I'm thrilled to have them in our stadium, and I think it's a great series. I hope we play them into eternity. But this year in particular, with a new coaching staff and all these new players, it's just you don't have a really good feel for exactly how it's going to play out. So I don't think of it as being negative. It's just nervous, like that nervousness before you go on stage or something.
So what do you guys feel like? Let's talk. We obviously lost a great running back last year. And we were expecting people to step up, and we've got some other positions. So tell me some of the players that you feel that are going to have to rise to the occasion this year, or will rise to the occasion to replace some of the good guys we did lose, like Jeffrey Wilson.
We lost Jeff, obviously, like you said, and that's a huge loss. You're not going to be able to replace that guy, but we're deep. mean, we're super deep right now. This is the deepest North Texas team I can ever remember, just across the board. I just don't remember us having 4 capable running backs, or 7 or 8 receivers. We're just crazy deep on offense right now, and I'm not trying to put the cart before the horse or anything like that, but I think on offense, I would be surprised if we didn't have a really great offensive season and replicated exactly what we did last year, if not got better. So yeah, I mean, losing Jeffrey sucks, obviously, but just between Nick Smith and Evan Johnson and Torrey and Easley's been a welcome surprise, and he's a good player, and I think that we've got enough horses there that we can sustain what we were doing last year and mix it up a little bit. And you remember Nick Smith had a really good year last year. So, all he's done is gotten better and he's gotten more comfortable in an offense. So, I think offensively, I think the key to the season is keeping 6, 8, 9 healthy. If we keep 6, 8, 9 healthy, Nick Smith, Mason Fine, Jalen Guyton, we should be able to do some damage. I mean, Rico and Jalen, that's a killer wide receiving core. And then you're leaving out a guy like Mike Law, who led the team in catches, and is just shifty and gets open. And then you've got guys like Jalen Darden. You've got guys like Greg White, who I assume is going to step up. You got Kelvin Smith. Offensively, I think we're in really, really good shape. And I don't remember the last time we had this much talent on offense. So offensively, I'm really excited to see what we got, and I think that we're in for a big year.
What about you, Harry? I mean, obviously you kind of watch the program better than most, and I know JD. I know both of you guys really follow recruiting, and I'm not discounting what Ashton knows and sees, but from what you guys see and some of the players, and nobody knows the recruits that came in better than JD. What do you guys feel? Who's going to make an impact, or what you're thinking are going to make an impact of people that are new to the program?
Me?
No, JD.
Oh, JD,
not
yeah.
you, Ashton.
Okay. I didn't know he was asking. You said you.
No, I want to see what JD and Harry. I mean, you've seen it actually physically, but knowing what the new guys in, or who are you expecting to make an impact for JD and Harry?
I mean, one of the guys that I'm most excited about on offense, like Ashton said, we're stacked. I mean, not to take anything away from Jeffrey Wilson. I mean, the dude's a star. I hope he makes it in the NFL. But when you talk about the number of talented guys that we're bringing back, I mean, it's hard to say we're going to take a step back. But the guy I'm probably most excited about is Manasseh Mose. He's a redshirt freshman. I mean, the guy we heard last year could have stepped in last year. They were able to keep him redshirted the whole year. He steps in at right guard, right beside his brother. I mean, from what I hear, the guy's a beast. And
he is a beast.
And if that offensive line can just take, one step forward with, the wide receivers have another year, Mason Fine have another year, the offense, I mean, watch out record books. I mean, that's the way I feel.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I agree with exactly everything you said about the offense. The record book thing, because it sounds like hyperbole, but I mean, for real. I mean, we have never been this deep, and I'll say defensive wide as well. I mean, I don't know how we're going to perform defensively, but depth wise, last year we were rolling. We had like 5 linebackers that we could really plug in there. I mean, Coons can really travel with like 7 or 8 right now. And that's a big deal that we can actually have this kind of depth. Not to get to the defensive side just yet, but yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised when I start naming off guys. I'll forget a guy. Like I forgot about Manasseh just now. I just kind of totally forgot about it. I was just telling somebody about the Mose brothers lining up beside each other the other day. But when we were talking about guys I'm excited for, I kind of forgot about Manasseh because we are deep enough to where a guy can slip under the radar a little bit. That's all I got.
I mean, I'm going to talk defensively since we seem to be so focused on offense. I think defense is a key, where we need to, I just thinking about the SMU game last year, they won the line of scrimmage, really on both sides. And it took its toll as the game went on. So I'm really hoping that we can see Bryce English. I know that's a name everybody likes to talk about, and he's running second team right now, but a guy like Bryce English, if he could provide us some quality depth, and hold up the middle of that line, that would be a huge plus for this defense. And I think moving Roderick Young to end could be a real interesting story to keep an eye on, because that's more of his natural position. And, would love to see him come out and have a big game against SMU. But I think, seeing the defense make a step forward would be a huge plus, going into this season for sure.
So when we're playing SMU, the way our schedule works out this year is we kind of go hard, easy. We start out with SMU. We go to Incarnate Word. Now, I don't want to discount any team we play. Everybody knows how that could work. But you got SMU. Then we go to Incarnate Word. Then we do we play in Denton in Incarnate Word. We go to Arkansas, and then we play Liberty. Then Louisiana Tech and UTEP. It seems to be kind of a contrast. What do you think about their overall schedule this year? Obviously, culminating the UTSA game, but with SMU and Arkansas versus our Incarnate Word and Liberty, our first 4 games. What does that do for you as a team and a coach? The ups and downs of your opponent's abilities.
I mean, not to beat a dead horse, but I wish we could flip the Incarnate Word game with SMU, because that way at least because I would like to have a week to kind of get it all together for SMU, to be quite honest.
I mean, but they're in the same boat. They're not playing anybody before us either. So, I mean,
wait, who?
You know what? We don't matter as much to them as this game matters to us, quite honestly. I mean, this game's a big game for us for a lot of different reasons.
This is a big game for SMU, man. You don't think it's a big game for SMU?
I mean,
they're the freaking underdog.
I don't think their fan base takes it as seriously as our fan base does, but maybe I'm wrong. But to Evan's question, I think going into the Arkansas game 2-0 would be huge. You know what I mean? That would be what the best case scenario, because then you roll the dice against Arkansas. And I mean, talk about an opponent that's got a lot up in the air right now. Now, I realize they're SEC and we're probably not going to win that game, but there haven't been that many P5 contests on the road where you have a new coaching staff, new offense, a lot of, personnel, issues. They've got a lot of injuries on their offensive line right now. So to me, that's the best case scenario early on the season. But as far as the whole entire schedule, I mean, I think it's a pretty darn good schedule overall.
Any thoughts on the schedule, guys?
I mean, I don't want to sound like Seth or anything, but, I mean, one game at a time. I mean, I think SMU game, not only because it's a Metroplex, but we talk a lot about, like, UTSA, like us going, there's no team that we go head-to-head more in recruiting than SMU. And I think, I think it's a game that we need to take not only for Metroplex dominance or whatever you want to say, but also for a leg up in the recruiting. We've kind of got a little momentum as far as media goes, as far as recruiting goes, and I think getting a win started off is huge. I mean, starting off 2-0 and 1-1 going to Arkansas, I mean, doesn't seem like that big a deal, but as far as recruiting and everything else, I think it's huge.
It is, and I always try to be as realistic and as possible when we're talking about games that are big and games that aren't big. At the same time, it is a non-conference game. If we lose it, it's not the end of the world. We might get a leg down in recruiting, like JD said. That's a very, very, very good point. It might hurt our pride a little bit because they're so close to us and they're Metroplex rival. Like Harry said, the same. It's bigger for us than it is for them. But at the same time, I don't want to put all of our hopes on one game. And I feel like as a fan base, sometimes we'll do that with this game because it is SMU and we want to do that. That's fine. But we need to also realize that, we didn't beat SMU last year. And would anybody say that was a failed season? I mean, it was a 9-win season and we were playing for the conference championship. If we beat FAU in the conference championship game, who cares that we lost to SMU? I mean, from a realistic standpoint. And so I don't want to sit there and be negative because, to be honest, 3 years ago we won one game. So I'm still living in that mindset where we're not high enough where we need to sit here and say, that we have to win this game or our season's shot and it's game one. I don't feel like we're not that kind of program yet. I mean, does that make sense?
No, it does. And I'm with you. I mean, I guess part of it for me is the anticipation for before the first game of the season is so high. And it just seems like everything's clicking for us right now. The Mean Joe Green statue gets announced. Indoor practice facility, they're breaking ground. I mean, that's a huge story of itself. Coming off 2 bowl seasons, you kind of want to see yourself. I just see that beating SMU, or at least competing with them on a consistent basis, as that next step in the progression is how I would put it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think that's a great point. Is that it is another step. If we beat SMU and then lose our bowl game again, or if we beat SMU and or lose to SMU and win our bowl game, it's you gotta. I don't know. I can't look at it like I talked to a fan the other day that said, I don't care much about this season if we don't beat SMU. I'm like, that's kind of ignorant, because it's not over, and we still got a lot of good things that can happen if we don't beat SMU. Now, with that being said, I really, really want to get this game because I think this is a huge momentum booster for the season and just gets us off on a great foot, and last year, we didn't and we survived it, but I think, I don't think we're going to lose to Incarnate Word if we lose to SMU. That would be catastrophic. But, like Harry said, getting out of September at, 3-1 would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move over from the actual football. Let's see what we've got this year. We could go through every position and kind of, talk about that at length. But let's start talking about some of the other things. Everybody's going to be there this week. It's a game day experience. It's a 6:30 kickoff. It's going to be hot. It's just what you run into those first few weeks of the year. Parking is going to be a little different this year. I got my packet in the mail, my little Mean Green package with my tickets that I thought were rather strange because it looked like they were missing pictures.
Are you opening them right now?
Do what?
Are you opening them right now?
Yeah, I just opened them. No, but you got that. It kind of feels like they were missing. Like there should be a picture of Mason Fine or something like that. Because when you cut off the week, they're just kind of weird. So anyway, I thought that was kind of strange. And I also got those clear bags. So everybody's going to the games this week. We were starting to do what most of the other college programs have gone to, where you have to have a clear bag or a tiny clutch. And those clear bags, they sent some. And actually, some of mine were actually broken, but it doesn't matter. But that's what everybody's having to go to. And they were really pretty vocal about, you got to do this. They supplied that with the season tickets, so everybody should know the clear bags, but there's always going to be those people that didn't bring them. So that's a huge change, and that could affect a lot of people that never had to worry about it before at a North Texas game. Any comments on that?
No, I think it's a good idea. I mean, to be honest with you, it seems like every stadium I go to has that policy anyway, so I don't have a problem with it.
So the other thing is, how are ticket sales going? Does anybody know? Have we heard? Just lost.
I mean,
there he is.
I haven't heard an exact number. I don't know that they're going to provide that, but I would follow up to what was said earlier. Man, I've never seen them promote something as much as this game. I mean, it's between the wrestling match and they just had an announcement, I think today or yesterday, that students can get 2 free guest passes. Did you see that, Jordan?
Yeah, and the recruits, which is different this year, the recruits get 2 tickets as well, and it was pretty much, if you're interested in coming, sign up on the link, come on. High school coaches, free tickets. I mean, they're really promoting it on all levels.
Well, I did notice that my parking pass was not I made the same donation that I did last year. But that donation now falls into a lower income bracket, I guess, because, they raised the levels. So if you gave a certain amount last year, you had to up it to be in that same level of giving. Well, I gave the same amount as last year, and so I was kind of in the middle of between the minimum and the maximum of the level of giving, and so I didn't move up to the next level. I didn't realize that they had changed, and until the end, and I was like, look, I gave them enough money. But I did notice that they gave me the parking passes for my old level, and there was a note in there saying because of your points or whatever, you got a better parking pass. Although I kind of wanted the other parking pass that you get with the lower level, which brings me up to the parking situation. The parking situation has changed because they've expanded the parking lot. Now, Ashton, you've been up there more than most people, but kind of describe to everybody with your karaoke microphone there what the parking situation is and why they've expanded the blue lot. Well, I guess is it all blue or all red now?
It's all blue, isn't it?
I gotta look at that.
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, don't put me on the spot because I park in the front row, so I don't really care about where all the common people park.
Wow. the little people.
That's nice.
Go ahead and say the little people.
No, yeah, I can't be dealing with that. No, I saw the map, but where I park will be the same spot over there by Victory, I think, but I haven't really got my credentials for the season yet. I'm picking up tomorrow. So I saw the map, I saw the game day changes, didn't really kind of understand a little bit of where the parking was and kind of looked at it briefly, but I haven't really dove into it too much. I just been kind of immersed in camp.
My understanding is y'all have like a limo section where they drop you off there right by the front of the stadium?
No, there's a helicopter pad. It's around the side.
Nice.
It's Kevin Sumlin's helicopter.
Well, if you were to go on and try to buy a parking,
is he using it right now? No.
If you were to go on and try buy a parking pass online at GoMean, the North Texas ticket office, you could buy a blue lot pass or an orange lot pass. And the blue lot has been expanded from the last post on the forum by GoMean Green. I think Adler posted this. That used to be red and blue. Now it's all blue, I guess. And because that parking lot's larger, you can actually pay $30 on game day and just pull up and park there and not have to make that long walk across from the old Fouts Field parking area. So I'm wondering how that's going to change, and I'm wondering if that's just going to make the tailgating area bigger. And to be honest, if you're tailgating, I would rather tailgate over in the blue lot than the lot that I'm at because you can always park and there's grassy areas if you wanted to set up behind your vehicle. The parking lot that I'm at, there's no area. There's like 3 feet between the back of your car and the other car parked behind you. There's no way to tailgate over there. So I think that's going to be the most popular lot, and people are going to change. I'm going to see if I can change mine out. But that's something that's changed this year. Also, before we go on to other things, the Mean Joe Green statue has been what a lot of people are talking about. We were talking a little bit about it before we got started. So a lot of questions people are asking is exactly where is it going to go and when's it going to be in? Now, I think we already know that it's going to be in for the Louisiana Tech game, but Ashton, tell us where it's going to be at exactly.
I don't 100% know where it's going to be. I think it's going to be in front of Gate 2. That's, to my knowledge, that's where it's going, but I don't think I have. I think they have it finalized, but I'm not 100% sure.
Where is Gate 2? Is Gate 2 on the
Bonnie Bray? Yeah, that's Bonnie Bray basically.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling them I thought it would be better to put it on where the alumni center, that main exit there.
That's what I was thinking because there's a big area there.
That's kind of. I mean, I agree but I'm just thinking about the space, and that's kind of like the main front of the stadium. I mean, I guess it's really not though because you don't walk up into that. I guess you do walk up into that gate though.
Well, if you're the majority of the fans,
that's where you'll walk in.
You're going to come in over by the alumni center, right?
Yeah, I guess you would come in over there. I mean, that actually kind of makes sense behind the wing, but I know that they also do a lot of stuff over there during the games.
Well,
and
okay,
so I wonder if they would put it
Model T, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you were in the stand on field and you went right over the Model T, there's kind of a big area there. If you put it there, Seems to me that'd be a good location. You can almost see it from the highway when you're coming across the bridge. But if you're going to put it over there, I guess you got the big donors coming in. But most people don't come through that gate because you're going to have to walk around the stadium. So I was surprised. But
the statue located next to Apogee's Gate 2 will be revealed in a ceremony at 4 p.m.
All right. I guess I just didn't know which Gate 2 was.
There you go. It's official.
That was, that's like on the website. I'm looking at it right here. And that's what I thought. So anyway, moving on.
So Gate 2 is the one that's directly like 50-yard line coming in next to the gift shop.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Bonnie Brett.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
which I think the bigger story here is not where.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say it's not where it's located. It's the fact that finally, after all these years, we've been playing football for a century or longer. We're commemorating, without a question, our greatest NFL player, period, Hall of Fame and all that stuff. That to me, that was just a no-brainer, to recognize Mean Joe. I mean, there's no other player that I would put before him, to be quite honest. Right. Now, hopefully Mason Fine will be the second one here in a couple of years. But
well, I think you're right, Harry. It is way overdue.
Now, what about Quinn, Harry? Because that's who you wanted to start at quarterback last year.
Johnny Quinn? Oh,
Johnny Quinn's a great guy.
Quinn Shambar.
No.
I told Mason at the beginning of last season you were questioning him, and he's like, man, really? Harry was questioning me? I was like, yeah, big time. And he wasn't happy about it.
I'd be just like you to roll me under the bus like that.
I mean, I was like, hey, Harry, watch out for that Greyhound.
Well, I think you're right, Harry. It is way overdue. He's obviously a face, and he's getting up there. But what he's brought to the program as far as visibility and name recognition, that commercial, which is one of the most famous commercials of all time, you'd think that the athletic department could get a better copy of it. But that is just one of those things that's been around for years and everybody remembers it. So he is, some schools would love to have a marquee name like that. And what he did for this school and for this university is great. So I am glad that they're finally bringing it out there wherever it's going to be. And over, that's fine. Gate 2, I was just curious. But it is about time. So that takes me to my next topic I want to get to, guys, is Beyond the Green, with a new time slot and a new channel. So, Ashton, tell us a little about where we're at with Beyond the Green first episode. Give us some hints on what's going to be going on with that.
What's the new channel?
Isn't it on Fox College Central or something now?
No, Fox Sports Southwest.
All right.
Same channel it's been on.
All
and
right.
I didn't know I changed time slots either. Did I change time slots,
It's at
Evan?
5:30 now.
It's saying it's listing at 5:30?
Yeah, you really ought to talk to the producer about this stuff.
No, I actually, I'll read you my email that I talked to them today. 5:30 is news to me. That's very cool. I would love that. I looked at it at 4:00 on Thursdays. That's what the email came in today.
All right, let me just tell you what it says here. I just noticed on my DVR that Beyond the Green is set to air on Thursday, 9/6 at 5:30 p.m. Looks like it has moved over to Fox College Sports Central.
It's always been on Fox College Sports. This is nothing new. And all that person is repeating is that's the second airing on Fox College Sports. So, yes, it will rerun on Fox College Sports. They do random times on that. Like, they'll basically fill time slots with original programming wherever they can. So it could be at 7 o'clock on a Thursday. It could be at 10 o'clock in the morning on a Friday when it re-airs on Fox College Sports. Fox College Sports technically isn't anything new. It's always been on Fox College Sports. Not everybody has that channel. It's kind of a very strange channel in the package. So, no, of course, another more good false reporting. It hasn't moved to another network, and it's still at 4 on Thursdays.
Okay,
but has the show been renewed?
I'm not saying this is fake news or fake news or the truth. Definitely,
it's just it's very funny.
Let me just go on to the next post to further just completely throw this in disarray. So the next post was by Eagle MBA. The first one was by UNT 90 grad. The second one was Eagle MBA, and he said, couldn't find it. I looked where it was previously and found a fishing show. Found a fishing show.
Oh my! Just spit it out.
Sorry, and found a fishing show sandwiched between the TCU equivalent of Beyond the Green and the Baylor coach show.
So last year,
hold on. It is possible that the drones at AT&T just haven't updated the schedule. I shall persevere in my quest.
Yeah, we premiere 9/6 at 4:00 to my knowledge. That's what that's the sheets that have come in that I've seen, all the format sheets that, we call it traffic sheets. That's everything that's come in. That's what it's been. And I checked with them this morning just to make sure that we weren't going to have any weird time slots like that one year where we had to rearrange everything because of a press conference with the Rangers. And I think we went to like 10:30 in the morning one Friday and it was like, whoa. I want to make sure that's not happening. So, again, Fox does have the freedom to move it when they need to, Fox Sports Southwest. But the communication I had with my programming director over there is 4 p.m. on Thursdays, just like it normally would be.
Yeah. So
and this year, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, and then this year we're doing 12 episodes instead of 13. I like doing a preseason episode, but not this season. So we'll start next season, and then it'll just basically go every week after a game, just like usual, and we'll skip the bye week. So,
well, I'm sure everybody's looking forward to that. I will say, there's obviously some good information, and everybody loves the show. There's no doubt. It's always you do an excellent job. I did go to my Spectrum app.
What does it say there?
And I don't know if you can see it right here, but it says...
Harry just left our podcast.
Yeah, he's done. It does say Beyond the Green airing, and you can't read it. Beyond the Green airing at September 6th at 5:30.
On Fox Sports Southwest?
On FCSC.
I think they haven't updated the Fox Sports Southwest times yet. So that's what I would think. I haven't even checked my my DirecTV guide or anything like that, but everything I know. Well, I haven't posted anything yet because I didn't have the 100% time confirmation yet until really this morning. I was going to make my yearly, hey, we're back post a little bit later in the game this year than I would have liked. We had to figure a few things out going into it. So, we got renewed about 3 weeks ago. And then we had to kind of figure out some other things with Fox. So there was just a potential of going on a different day and a different time that we were trying to stick with our usual time slot because we want to kind of keep it continuity's sake. So that was there's a little bit of a delay this year, but it's not going to affect the show at all. Not going to affect when it airs or anything like that.
All right, that's good. Yeah, I think we did lose. I don't see. Do you guys see Harry in there?
Nope.
All right, I guess he ran out of quarters at the hotel. So we'll go ahead and keep moving on. All right, well, I know it's early in the season right there when the schedule changes for the fall. There's always a little hiccup, and it'll be on YouTube, so everybody will watch it, and we'll talk about it next week. So the last thing I wanted to get to this week, guys, was talking about what our predictions for the score against SMU on Saturday. So I'm going to go ahead and start with you, JD. What do you got for your prediction, and who do you see as a breakout player this week?
Even though I'm nervous, I think UNT wins 38-28, and I think I don't know, either Nick Smith or Easley. They're my two pick. I think one of them breaks out and kind of takes over that running back job.
So you think Easley will start over Nick Smith like long term?
No. I think
they'll be the two main guys.
Honestly, I feel like it's Nick Smith's job to lose, but I mean, what I'm hearing is Easley's done he's held his own.
Oh, dude, Easley has been a nice surprise to me. I did not see that guy. I knew who he was coming in, and I had some expectations, but nothing like what he's been doing. I'm very pleasantly surprised with what I'm seeing out of him, and I think that I agree with you. I think Nick Smith and Easley will be the number 1 and 2 leading backs, yardage wise.
Because Nick's got another gear that I don't think Easley will ever have, but I don't think Nick's ever going to be a bruiser. He's never going to be a run over somebody. So I think it's a nice complement of each other, I guess.
Yeah, Easley's built really just like Jeff. He's a little bit taller, he's on the taller side than he's not a 5'8" running back. He's not squatty like Evan Johnson. Like Evan Johnson's a bowling ball. Yeah. And I think he's got a place too. Weish has had a pretty good camp too. And then you've got Torrey. It's funny again, like we're just talking about this, the depth, and we didn't, back in the day we were like, oh, it's Brandon Bird and Jimerson. And that's, and then a few years back it was Jeffrey and everybody else, and nobody was even close to getting, that number 2 job. It was such a distant second. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with where we're at running back wise.
When we talk about depth too, just throw something out there like, every position. Mason Fine's obviously I would say the most important player on offense, but my second guy that I think if we lost a wide receiver, we'd still be able to make it. My guy's Kelvin Smith. I think that guy is a do-it-all.
He's a glue.
Army knife. And if we lost him, I feel like he's one of the secret hidden weapons on offense that doesn't get near enough credit.
No, he definitely he doesn't get enough credit. I'm glad you brought him up because I mentioned him earlier. He is one of those guys that it's never gonna be flashy. He's going to go across the middle and he's going to catch a first down on 3rd and 8, and then he's going to do it again in the 4th quarter, and then he's going to make a key block. He lines up wide. We put him at H-back. We've got him everywhere, and he really is like Swiss Army knife, but he's not a gadget guy. He's this odd, versatile tight end H-back receiver that we have that we just, we never used to have that kind of versatility. I was talking to Graham one day, and the thing that Graham alluded to is that we haven't seen the entire playbook yet, and I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome that, and you got to think that they're in year 3. So first year, they're just scratching the surface what they're going to do. The second year, they're really starting to open it up. Now we're really going to start seeing what the Graham and Seth offense with their guys that they brought in. And that's the things you look across the board, who's left from before they were here. There's nobody. There's nobody that was now that Jeff's gone, there is nobody out there that was here doing anything in 2015 on offense. It's kind of mind-boggling in a way, and I guess you want that consistency and that longevity, but not when it was not working. I think that I'm real excited to see what we do offensively this year because I think we're in for some big stuff. For sure.
All right. Well, as far as my very basic, I'm going to go with 35-17 North Texas, and I'm expecting Fine to have a monster game. I really am.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I just think that he's going to jump out there, and week 2 they're going to just talk about how great he did, and I just feel like he's just that leader that's going to be out there. And he's going to be what people expect of him because he's just that type of guy that's the way he is. He's not one of those guys that we don't know which one of them is going to show up. It's just going to be him. So that's my prediction next week or this weekend, 35-17. Any other comments, you guys?
I actually didn't give a prediction. I don't think, did I?
No, you
just I just talked about cat. I just kind of rambled. I think we're going to hang 42. I'm going to go with I will go with 42. 42-28.
42-28. Hey,
I think
JD,
that Sonny Dykes team is going to score some points.
38-28.
38-28. All right, we'll see who's closest next week. Looks like Harry didn't get on, so evidently he probably had to leave for his 10:15 massage at the hotel down there and wherever he's at. So
where is he, by the way?
I don't know. It was some high-rise hotel somewhere. So either he's traveling or the wife kicked him out. 50-50 chance.
Nice.
So we'll go ahead and hit it this week. For those of you who listen a long time, we're going to try to get this as a podcast. We're also going to try to keep doing the live YouTube because we do have a chat room with the YouTube broadcast. It's going to be rough for a week or two. Oh, Harry's back.
There's Harry.
Harry's back. Harry, we can hear you. I can't see you, but I can hear you. So
sorry, guys. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I got booted off.
All right, Harry, real quick. We're doing.
I felt like I was like on the outside of the party and couldn't get in the door. I got locked out. It really sucked.
What's the password? So tell us your prediction this week and who's your breakout player.
Man, this is a tough. Because I think North Texas is going to win this game 28-24. That's the bottom line.
28-24?
Yep. I think it's not going to be as big offensive shootout as people think. I think SMU is going to run the ball up our ass, so we better be ready for it. And I think we're going to run the ball quite a bit too. I think it's going to be kind of like a, heavyweight boxing match. They're going to be feeling each other out the first half a little bit, but I got a good feeling about this game. I really do. I think it's going to be close, but I think we're going to get the W.
All right. Well, then that's an interesting one. So, all right,
and
here's
don't
the deal.
forget about the wrestling match. Did we talk about that? I'm sorry. Did you bring that up?
No idea.
Don't forget about the SMU game. Did you guys talk about that?
No, I'm saying the wrestling match after the SMU game.
No.
We're forgetting about that.
No, we didn't cover that.
Darn it. That's a big deal, man. That's Von Erich.
We mentioned it. Von Erich, spawn of Von Erich.
Yeah, so anyway.
All right. Well, as I was saying, for those of you that were listening in, where it's a little rough this week, we'll get it tuned in and make this enjoyable, and where you can listen on iTunes or watch it on YouTube. We're hoping that people will get into the chat room, watch it on YouTube. We could have done it on Facebook, but nobody really wants to say who they really are on Facebook. Yeah, YouTube makes it a little easier, especially with North Texas fans. This way, RV can't come in and act like he's somebody else.
Off my phone.
Kids are on the phone again.
Hey, got that statue finally. That was my idea.
All right. Well, with that, we'll go ahead and end it. We'll see everybody next week. Go Mean Green.
Go Mean Green.
Go Mean Green.
Go Mean Green.